Welcome to Romance Recs. We're usually three romance-obsessed besties sharing book recs broken down by genres and tropes, so you can be sure you're getting exactly what you want out of your next read. I'm Jordan, and I'm currently listening to Rejection by Kay Lorraine and Meg Ann. And today with me I have...
Hi, I'm Chelsey Ann Tompkins, and I write romantasy.
Are you reading anything right now?
I'm reading three things, which is very unlike me. This is not usual. It's usually I'm a one girl. I'm listening to The Ever Queen. I just finished The Ever King. It's very good. Enjoying The Ever Queen. And then I am reading Crooked Kingdom, the second book in Six of Crows duology. And I'm also reading A Conduit of Light, which is my first book. And I'm doing that with one of my best friends, and we are looking for breadcrumbs that lead to the twist in the book, because I'm doing a panel about adding breadcrumbs to your stories at Once Upon a Con. So we're both like hunting through, and it is so much fun. We are having a great time.
That sounds like my favorite thing ever.
It is so much fun to read with her because she's so good at anything we read together. She's so good at finding those like little tidbit, little sprinkles of things in the book. And you're like, oh, I missed that. I didn't even hear it. And so she's so much fun to read with. We're having a blast.
That is like what I do naturally on my own and rereading all of my like favorite series. So that sounds amazing.
Instead of talking aloud to yourself, you're like texting your friend.
Like,
it's great.
This is funny. I knew this would happen. I'm like, there's no one else who has read it.
Yeah, we're having a great time doing that. So those are three books I'm reading. Again, very unheard of.
That's funny because usually I have at least two. So it's strange that I have one. So
that you're at one.
Swapped.
We're just swapping over here.
Love it. Perfect. I'm so excited to have you on. I'm so excited you're here with us.
I love being here. This is great. I mean, we met a while ago.
Yeah, you and I met, I think, last summer.
Yeah,
right?
It was June. And I remember talking to you a little bit about your podcast. And I was brand new.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
I was brand new too.
Who's a person? And
who reads?
What's
weird.
But the thing I remember the most was the logo, your logo. And I remember being like, I'm obsessed with this logo. And then later when I found you later too, I was like, yes, the logo lady.
Yeah,
it's
the
beautiful.
curvy lady. The curvy lady. She gets ya. Yeah.
And now here we are.
I know, it was so fun. And we were right across from each other this year at the same event at Emerald City Romance Writers and Readers event.
Yes, which was fun.
I know, it was such a blast.
That was really fun. I feel like that whole aisle was very loud. And I feel like we were a part of that. I like
to think that we were the heart of the party. Yeah, absolutely.
Your shiny cowboy boots running around. It was amazing.
Listen, I like to make a statement when I can. All right. My mom attire day to day. I don't always get the chance. So when I do,
I know it, right? No, I did the same thing. I wore a super bright dress. Come look at me right now.
We matched. We were wearing
We did. We were on the same wavelength of like right across from each other in red. Here we go.
Look at me. It was perfect. Okay, before we get too far off the beaten path here, we do like to try to do quotes. We don't try. We do eventually. Sometimes we get off tangent. But we like to do quotes at the beginning of every episode of something we've recently read or one that really stuck with us for a while. Do you mind if I read one from your latest book?
I do not mind, Jordan. Okay. That would be lovely.
So I'm going to read a quote from Straw and Gold by our very own Chelsey Ann Tompkins. I just went with one that I felt really represented our FMC and her relationship towards our leading man.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What a fool my husband had been, trying to deny the instant attraction between us. Well, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't let him do it any longer. This fire in his eyes was mine, and I'd see it as often as I could.
You know, Jordan.
Is that your line? Is that the quote?
Shut up, because I literally talk about the same wavelength. I came on here with a quote, which I will read from Six of Crows, which I just finished, right? It's fantastic. But I was like, I should have something from Straw and Gold, just in case. I literally wrote down, I didn't write that whole thing, but I wrote the end because it needs to be heard again. Because this is Morella. This is her. This fire in his eyes was mine, and I'd see it as often as I could. And that is just like her stance this entire book in a nutshell.
Dude, I'm excited to dive more into her in this book in just a little bit. It was actually really close between that one and another one. Maybe when we talk about her later, I'll read it.
Okay.
But obviously it's a really good quote. Yeah,
and I think it really does, like I said, it just sums up how she feels about the whole situation. This is how she's feeling about that.
It's so refreshing too. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that. Can I read my Six of Crows one?
Yes, please.
So Six of Crows, came out a bajillion years ago. And I just got around to reading it because I'm trying to read more heisty books. And I'm writing a heisty book soon, which we'll also talk about later. But I love Casbrecker. I cannot get over this character because he is so complicated and yet it's so simplistic who he is. He's a beautiful character. And so a line from him is, "There was no part of him that was not broken, that had not healed wrong. And there was no part of him that was not stronger for having been broken." And it's just, he's such a dynamic, interesting character. All of the characters in that book are fantastic. I absolutely adored it. And I read it super slow. And if I'm reading a book super slow, it's good because I'm just like soaking it in and dreading the last page, basically.
Yeah, I like it. I haven't read it. Obviously, I know of it. I know Christina's talked about it and the characters. And so I've heard a lot of the names. Like I've heard about
Did you watch the show? Did you watch Shadow and Bone?
I haven't watched it.
They like combined Six of Crows and Shadow of Bone. And I remember watching the show and being like, well, let's get back to the storyline of Six of Crows, right? It was so good. And I finally got around to reading it. It's totally worth a read. It's fantastic. Perfect. 5 stars.
Yeah, I'll add it to the TBR again.
Move that up. Move that up the TBR.
There, and then other things like push it down, and then it goes back up, and then more things push it down.
Yeah, and as like romance readers, right, you and I, there's not a lot of that in there. It's in, but it's not the focal point. And I didn't think that I would be okay with that.
That's fair.
I was obsessed with it, though. Like, it's just that good that it's like, romance who? I mean, there is some romance. And of course, the romance that was in there, I was like, I got to hyperfixate on this.
Yeah.
Because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic book.
I should say, in that vein, I feel like maybe 2 or 3 times a year, I find myself like, I need to either read like something just straight fantasy or mystery, like a suspense or mystery. I'm like, but then I find the romance plot within that, and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And then, yes, and it's like that drug. It's the high. It's the fix. And let's make it end game.
Technically, I'm also listening to Dune right now.
Oh, interesting.
For the first time because my husband has been begging me, and he's read 2 series for me.
Okay.
So, and I
feel like you need to reciprocate.
I've tried. He had me trying. No, listen, Chelsey. I don't know what you know about Warhammer 40K, but he had me trying to read one of those.
We talked about this at dinner. I remember feeling your pain.
Like, he had me trying to read this, and I was like, I just can't. So
and you
Dune,
tried.
I've watched Dune. Cool. Great. Cute movie. I'm probably the only one who calls it a cute movie. But I go to Dune Park in Tacoma. That's, like, cool. It's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
I get it.
People who complain about books when the moon hatched, And I'm just like, this is child's play. I've
You mean,
attempted Warhammer. Like the dry, listing of world setup, world build, and all this stuff. Anyway, I digress.
It's a different category than you're used to.
But it's good to know Six of Crows has more of that. And it's
Six of Crows. And, it's YA. I typically stray away from it if something is young adult, because I feel like I've just moved on from that age group of characters. Not that the writing's bad, not that the story's bad. I'm sure these things are lovely, but just the age group of the characters, I tend to shy away, but they don't feel 16 and 17.
Oh my God, are they that young?
Yeah. And I'm reading it, I'm like, how is he 17? Excuse me. He's talking like he's at least 25.
Oh, okay. So that totally
it's one of those.
Changed my whole perception of that. Wild. All right. Okay, well, now that we're like 13 minutes in, can you share a little bit about yourself, like who you are as an author and your latest release? Give us, like, who is Chelsey Ann Tompkins?
I'd love to. So I am a romantasy author. That is what I write. It's what I read. It's what I love. I live in it. I wish I lived in it. I don't live in it. I live in a more contemporary style. But I came out with my first book, A Conduit of Light, in November of 2023. So it's coming up on to 2 years soon that I've been doing this.
Wild.
Very wild and very joyful and everything that I wanted, pretty much, right? Except, other things that could have happened, but that's fine. It's been a wonderful journey. And so I finished my first trilogy, A Conduit of Light trilogy, in the last day of 2024 because I wanted to have written 2 books in 2024. And so that's what I did. And And so that trilogy, A Conduit of Light trilogy, is not your typical romantasy. It is very twisty. It has a lot of nature magic, and there's not a lot of like sword play and war, and there's no assassin FMC, and she doesn't wield a sword. So it's a different kind of romantasy, and it deals a lot with themes of hope and holding on to what you believe in and what you love, as well as generational trauma. And all of these things came together in my life after I had been through depression, through COVID. And I was like, this is it. It's time. Like, I knew that I was going to be a writer forever. I always knew that I would do it. And it was just a matter of when. And it was time. And so that trilogy really helped me heal myself. And I love talking about it to people who just walk up to my table or they just find me on Instagram or something, because there's so much of myself into it. It's like, how do you get across like how epic this story is?
No, I love that.
So that is my trilogy, and it's complete. It's done. It has been so hard to move on from. So what I did was I moved on into super spicy fairy tale retelling.
How can I deal with this writing letdown?
Yep, that's exactly the thought process. I was like, how am I going to do this? Because saying goodbye to your characters after so long of having them there with you every single day. Yeah. It was writing Curse Spindle was like, whoa, we have to completely 180 this. And so I wrote a very spicy Sleeping Beauty novella, Curse Spindle, but I put my spin on it where it still has themes, has messages. There's like an overarching, romance that is very endearing, and there's a lot of chemistry, and it's actually became like this really beautiful novella that I'm very proud of, because writing a novella is just a whole nother ball game, right?
I bet.
You're under 40,000 words. You have to have a complete story. And if it's romance, you got to make it believable. And so it was a challenge that I really loved, because it really put me into a headspace of having to really focus on these characters and kind of get out of A Conduit of Light. And so I wrote that. That came out at the end of April this year. And that was wonderful because I met so many new readers through that book because it's a standalone. You could pick it up and read it in a day, right? And so then I just am releasing Straw and Gold on August 15th. That is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, as you know. Oh, I forgot I gave you the character art.
Yeah, I have the character art.
Oh my God. We're only a couple pre-orders away from sharing that, and I'm very excited. But Straw and Gold is not quite a novella. It's a little over. But it had to be, it's kind of one of those author things where I'm like, this can't be Curse and Spindle length. It has to be a little bit over.
That was my only complaint about the whole thing, is that it wasn't longer. I was like, I need this drawn out. I need to know more. I was like, this is amazing. And I just want to keep going with these characters.
Yeah, so. I completely understand. And I've heard that complaint many times about both of these books.
It's not a true complaint. It's more of like, I loved it so much.
And it kind of counters what I'm trying to do with these fairy tales. Because I'm trying to give you something, every single fairy tale in a realm of revelry, and there's going to be a bunch more, right? Ooh. Every single one is going to be the length where you can sit down on a Friday night and you're done by Sunday. I want them to be quick. No, I want them, have adorable moments and a really good chemistry. And I'm bringing in these pieces of these stories that we know, and I'm just like twisting the hell out of them. They're like to the point where you're like, I see how this is Rumpelstiltskin, but also there's no creepy man. There's no creepy like baby stealing. It feels like a romantasy book. And so Straw and Gold comes out August 15th. I'm really excited and proud of it. It was another labor of love after Curse and Spindle getting to it. But I think I spent every single lunch hour of mine from like January to, I don't know, through April writing that book.
Wow. Dedication.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Lunch hour is precious.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing. Lights off.
Yeah.
That's what was happening. And I do it because it makes me happy. And if I'm not, working on a book or I'm not writing, I feel something is just missing. It just is. If I'm not developing some story somewhere, whether actually writing it or editing it or preparing it for release, it's just so a part of me now that I can't imagine my life without it.
Oh, I love to hear that, though. That's so amazing. It's so nice to hear, like, you and how passionate you are about these stories and how invested you are. And because it really comes across when you talk to people about it who either haven't read it or, who stop by your table who have.
Right.
And just like you talking about the characters, even though you spent so much time with them, you're still so excited about them. And it's just so fun to hear.
Yeah.
You genuinely love your characters.
An author who, I am right there with you, when you're reading those moments and you're giggling and kicking your feet. I am there when you're reading those moments and you're crying and you hate me. I also hate me. I am also there with you because it's both. It's all of it. 100%.
Yeah. And I honestly, art commitments. That's how I finally made time to read one of yours. I was like, I will take an arc of Straw and Gold because then I will like actually have to pencil it in and I will have to because that is like how I'm getting through most things these days. But oh my God, now I'm so excited to go back and read Curse and Spindle because you do you get glimpses and you get an idea for the characters from that in Straw and Gold.
Yeah.
But so if you do want to pick up Straw and Gold first, you can. Absolutely you can. I did it. I'm sure you would have an even greater understanding if you read Curse and Spindle first. But okay, can we talk about the chin holding in Straw and Gold? Like, was like, oh my good lords.
I think that for me, it's like, it's not just how he grabs her face. It's that the grumpy sunshine really shows in those moments. Killian is the most grumpy, giant, very typical
stubborn
MMC that I have ever written in my life. And I honestly thought I was going to argue with him more, you know, in my head with, you can't do that.
He just means well. But he just means well. His assholeness comes from a place he's an ass because he cares.
Of
Talk
course.
about my man like that, okay?
This is very typical that I would write an asshole who's actually the sweetest, kindest person. This is very on brand for me because generally the men that I write are very kind, caring, thoughtful. Just, it's all there gushing on you as you're reading, as you're like, oh my, I know, right? Oh, I'm very good at putting innuendos into things like this. But that's very my style of MMC. And so I knew that Killian was going to be different. And I really thought writing his chapters that he and I were going to get in, you know, some arguments, right? Like he and I were going to have some work about what was appropriate to put in there. But the fact that he holds this anxiety and trauma really helped his character be understood right from the get-go. And I think that's what's so endearing about Killian is because you get it. You're like, yeah, he's a jackass. But I get it. I know, but that's the thing. Is he though? I mean, he is. He's not really.
And here's the thing. I never felt that he was that big of an asshole, but it's because I often saw him from the lens of the most, possibly the most unique FMC I've ever read.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
folks,
talk
let
about
me
Morella.
tell you. This is one of my new favorite characters of all time. Morella, she knew this arranged marriage was coming since she was, what, 15?
15, yeah.
You guys, she ran to this wedding. She did not run away like most arranged marriage. She never fought this. She's, I'm going to go be queen. But it's not for power. You guys, she didn't go and she's not some snob. Like, she has her reasons, good reasons, but also just for herself. She's, I can make this life work and I think I can be meaningful in it. And I can do this and I can find love out of this. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
Is this plot possible? Have we ever seen this?
Believe me, I asked myself that same question.
But I loved it because self-assuredness, she knew her worth. She, like, even through her own traumas that she went through, she was steadfast in herself and in her goals.
She was unwavering in what she thought was going to happen.
And she was determined to make it happen. She wasn't waiting around for it to happen.
Exactly.
One of my all-time favorite moments from this book, and it's near the beginning, so, I mean, if you really don't want a small spoiler, just skip like 30 seconds or a minute, guys. But like when she drags her trunk across, and on the first night was like, I am not sleeping in a room away from my husband. I am married and I will make him fall in love with me. And if he's not going to do me, at the very least, he can share a room with me. And she's just trying to drag that. And then he opens the door and she's, there you are. You can bring my trunk. I was like, fuck you, you're not even going to you're going to make him help it. Yes.
She just dives into the bed. Like, that's it. I will tell you, let's preface this. So all of my characters talk to me. I'm sure you've heard authors talk about this. It's a thing. And if you're an aspiring writer or you do write and your characters are talking to you, I always say you're on the right track because this is what it is. This is what it feels like. Okay. I've been watching so much K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh my God. Okay.
My daughter's been singing it. It's okay.
My characters talk to me. And so I remember this story developing right after Curse Spindle, because this, if you don't know, Morella is the MMC from Curse Spindle, Corvin. It's his sister. And as soon as I was like, who the heck is his sister? Who would be Corvin's sister? Because Corvin is a unique character all on his own. And I'm like, who would his sister be, right? And she's coming to me. This was one of the first scenes that came to me, is that she's fucking dragging her own trunk out of the room that her husband, she just married, put her in. He put her in a separate room, and she says, F no, dragging it out in her nightgown at 2 a.m. This is her. And I was like, okay, we're just going with it. We're going with it because that is a beautiful scene right there. I
taking what she's owed. Without, I mean, it's a matter of fact. And everything that she feels like, this is a matter of fact. Like,
yeah. And so her concept of her character was, you know, because she's very different than what you've read before. And trust me, a huge part of me was like, this is too different. You know, and it came down to, Chelsey, what are you doing? This FMC is not what people are going to be used to. I don't know how it's going to be taken.
I loved it.
And she is a person where she knows what she wants, and she knows that it might not be, she eventually comes around to realize, okay, this is going to be harder than I thought it would be to get it. Right? Because the poor thing came into that wedding going, woo!
Look at me in my blood red dress.
The rest of my life right here. And she was rudely awakened during the wedding. But she's just a person where she's an FMC where even though he puts up the walls, even though he does his darndest to push her away for reasons, very good reasons.
There are always reasons.
She said, I'm not having this. You are my husband. This is it for us. This is it for you. This is it for me. And this is going to happen. And that is so different than what we're used to, than what I have written before, because all of the FMCs I've written before are very like independent. This is what I want. I'm going to take it. You could come along if you want. That's the kind of general idea.
No, the thing she wanted was a husband. And not just any husband, but him. This was my destiny. This is my fate.
Yeah, she wanted that life together, and she felt like she was getting out of her, you know, her brother's wings, so to speak, right? He's a Raven Fae prince with wings. She has wings too, which is also different.
She was the one that had
has wings. Yeah, she has these black wings with golden tips.
That are very significant.
They are. And she's just a very different way to write a woman, but also a very, I feel like, accurate way. I like to write FMCs who are, you know, varied, who are different than each other. I don't want to ever write the same exact person into a book, because women are so different from each other while also having so many similarities. You know, that's such a generic thing to say. No, but it's true. And as we read these books that we love,
it's the experience of being a woman.
Yeah. We get to live in other women's, you know, minds and feel what they feel and reflect on different ways of thinking about things. And Morella definitely thinks differently about things.
Yeah. So here's another quote I was actually going between three. This is one of the other ones. Do you believe your feigned indifference fools me? I trace the side of his face. It's these eyes, Killian. I see the fire in them when you look at me, when you watch me, when you dream of tasting me again, when you touch yourself imagining my lips replacing your hand. Like, the audacity. And here's the funny thing is they are both so stubborn. Like really at the bottom of this, a lot of it is stubborn and refusing to hear him. Like, she's
a Raven Fae trait for sure.
Yeah, but it doesn't come to an explosive head. But it is this constant back and forth, push and pull with them. And it's so fun to read.
Because when she comes to that realization that he does want her and that he would like to have her. And a lot of that comes out through their intimate moments when he's teaching her about sex and different kinds of sex acts, because she doesn't know. And that's
because
when
her first experiences was live. And I did like that it wasn't like she was coming and she totally saved herself for him. Like, she knew she was destined to be with him this whole time, or promised to him or whatever. But she was like, I'm still going to have experiences.
It's been 15 years, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still going to have experiences.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that great.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Been there.
They laugh about it so much. It's so fun to make fun of that poor guy. I need to have him in another fairy tale. This guy.
Oh my God. That would be so funny. Like, in a tavern somewhere while they're traveling.
Yeah. Breck Dealtree just like there, name dropped.
Something.
Oh
Please.
my God. I think it's going to happen for sure. But
we need merch. Poor Brecken. I hope Brecken learned some lessons. Like something with Brecken. R.I.P. Brecken.
Where's Brecken now?
We know you were like he's just some poor teenage guy.
He was just 19 and figuring it out himself, and they just make fun of him the whole book. It's great. But when Morella realizes that Killian wants her and is holding back for whatever reason, that's when she kind of goes feral. She's, well, here it is, the evidence.
I'm gonna break you.
Yeah, basically, right? She's, no, I was right. It's you and me. I was correct. And then she just takes off from there, and there's no stopping her.
Yeah, and she doesn't ever let self-doubt win.
No.
And this is really cool.
She doesn't.
This has been the last almost 2 years. You've been writing so much.
Oh my!
You said you've always wanted to do this. Did you go into it like, yes, I want to do indie? Did you try to query? Did you?
No.
Initially, what did you?
I wish I remembered how I even knew about indie publishing. I don't recall. I'm sure it was one of my hyperfixated deep dives into something. But I wrote A Conduit of Light, and I am the most impatient person you've probably ever met in your life. I hide it really well. I am so impatient, and very much like the character in A Conduit of Light, the main character, Curse. And so I wrote that book, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not going to query it. I'm not going to wait. Heaven forbid I wait to let my dreams come true was really, like, honestly, the Pisces in me that is so dramatic, and I want this, and I gotta take it.
Is Morella a Pisces? Is that how that works?
I don't think she is, but there's definitely me in every single one of these FMCs. So I decided that I was going to research how to do it. And that's exactly what I did. And I think the biggest thing for me was producing this book, releasing this book, and then being like, now what do I do? Now what? Yeah. Everybody's going to read it, right? Everybody's going to read it, right? And the kind of, the rude awakening of, wow, there's millions of us. This is lovely. And truly joining like the community of indie authors and people who read indie, especially too, has been so just beneficial to my mental health. These people are just, we're all rooting for each other, which is incredible because then it's just one big support fest. And then you really feel like you could do it. You really feel like you can get one day to be in every Barnes & Noble, like where are your Chelsey Ann Tompkins books? It really feels like you could get there someday. And so I love this community. And so, going indie, I have no regrets. Absolutely none. I have loved it. And I even did the covers for Curse and Spindle and Strong Gold myself, which was an even cooler thing because now I hear people say, oh, wow, I love this cover. I'm like, oh my God, thanks, I did it. And it adds to just an even more just, wow, I'm really doing it. Like, I'm really following this dream that I've had for so long. And it's just lovely and wonderful. But to segue for that, I am querying my next book.
Yay! I saw you post about that, I think yesterday or a couple days ago. Because you have done so much in such a relatively short amount of time. Oh my God,
Jordan.
You deserve a breather. And I know it sounds like you just want to, you're like, okay, what's my next thing? What's my next? But also to acknowledge what you've just done.
Yeah.
And fully embrace that, recognize it, and just slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
are you like just gonna
part of
heels in, dig in, and
exactly. It's part of the like impatient part of me. Is I'm always like, what's next? What's coming out next? What can we all get excited about next? And that is how I have written 5 books, in less than 2 years. And so this next story that I'm working on, that guy came to me. They always come into my DMs. Yeah. And by that, I mean my head, right?
Yeah.
And they just slip in. And this guy,
your mind palace is just,
I mean, once
it's your list of things.
Yeah, once it like opened starting to write, it's hard to close the floodgates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy came to me, metaphorically speaking. It's all in my head, people. But
Don't worry, everything's in my head.
It's fine. I got it.
Me there.
You know what though? If you write it down, people accept that you have people talking to you, and that's fine. As long as you write it down.
That's fair.
But he came to me right after I wrote A Conduit of Light, and it was off to the editor. And I was like, ooh, this is a really interesting story. And the first thing that came to me was the twist. Of course, it's always the twists with me. And I was like, okay, back burner, sit back here because I'm writing this like really epic trilogy right now. I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
And, as I was finishing up Strong Gold, and I felt so drained writing that book. I loved writing that book. I really enjoy it now, but it took me time to like it. And I think that's because I was so done creatively.
Yeah.
I was done. I'm shooting out these romance stories. And at some point I'm like, is this just me rehashing things? And I don't think it is at all. But I recognized I need to slow down. Mm-hmm. And my plan was like, okay, Strong Gold, boom, here we go. Third Realm of Revelry fairy tale, which is like very much conceptualized in my brain already. But I decided this time to sit down with this guy from 2 years ago and start writing his story. And the note that I have on my phone where I've been writing all the notes about the stories that come to me it's titled The Guy Who Is Very Loud. Because he's so loud in my head, and the twist came to me, and then just like his dark love for this FMC of you can hate me, but know that I loved her. And, getting that was just like, oh God, there's something really good here. And so Strong Gold was done, and I was like, this is it. This is just the time to write Chorus. And Chorus is like the code name. That's not the title, but that's what I'm calling it. And it's this dark romantasy that has all the things we love, all of the things that we expect to see. It's got enemies to lover, true enemies to lover. They're trying to murder each other. They're on warring sides.
Thank you. I really needed. Yes. Not like you first see them and you're like, oh, I lust after you. No. But I can't.
None of that. No. Absolutely none. And that's going to make it so lovely later. But it's that true enemies to lovers where the first book, I think we're going to get a kiss and that's probably it, right? Like it's slow burn.
Edge me. It's
fine. I love it. I love it when readers say that. And it's fated mates too. So it's like these very generic tropes. We've read them. How many times have we read these?
For a reason.
For a reason, right? And I'm like, how do I take these lovely things that I love, and how do I make them twisty? How do I make them in a way where people are reading this book and they're like, oh my God, I see what you did there. That is just like my favorite thing ever when the twist comes about. And so I've got this whole board right now in my room of just parchment paper. And it looks like a madman came into my room and started writing down gibberish because I had 18 pages of notes from those 2 years that I went through, and it is ready to go. I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to sit with it and let it simmer.
Enjoy those characters. Like
I am. Yeah. It's so cool to world build again because writing the fairy tales, there is world building, but you can't spend a lot of time on it. So the world building comes through over time in the fairy tales. You get to know more about the world. But I miss that. I miss building some world from nothing and really getting readers to feel like they're escaping and diving into it. I'm excited for that part.
That's very exciting. I love it. So really quick, so you laid it all out. So you're a plotter then? Do you plot everything first?
Typically, no. Over the past 2 years, I have become more of a half and half person.
Okay.
Where when I start something, I've got it plotted. Half of that doesn't happen. I start out, I get a base, I'm like, here's where it's headed.
Yeah.
And then I'm like scrapping things
You have
left
an
and right.
outline.
A very general wiggly outline.
Yeah.
Most of it ends up being pantser, where I sit down and I'm like, what's this chapter? I don't know. Let's find out. And it's so fun when you write twists because sometimes, you know, parts of the twist come to you as you're writing and it feels like a reader. You know, you're sitting there like, oh, no. You know, you have the same reaction of, I can't believe this is happening in real time. And I highly recommend doing that.
That's so funny. That reminds me of what Hannah said when we interviewed her recently, talking about Evie and the villain, because we were talking about how slow of a burn that is. And she's like, guys, it's not me. I literally tried to shove their faces together and they're like, kiss, kiss. And they're like, no, I won't. She's like, I'm trying, guys. I'm shoving their heads together. They won't do it. So
yeah, that's some intense slow burn.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. We're going to shake this off because we're all like, we can chat, obviously. But we're going to take a break and we're going to do this or that just to shake things up. I'm going to give you 2 options. First thing that comes to mind, your opinion. There technically are no wrong answers, but let's be honest, everyone
will judge. Yes, I get it.
We'll start out, hopefully easy, with physical book or ebook?
Physical.
Okay.
Specifically paperback.
Oh, paperback. Yes.
Paperback.
Okay, that's fair. That's much more doable when you're actually holding it for that long.
Yeah.
These fantasy books. Sweet or salty snacks while you're reading?
Salty.
Okay. I agree. Hidden identity or newfound magic ability?
Hidden identity.
Yeah. One horse or one bed?
One bed. You know that's my favorite trope. That's what I told you. It's my favorite. Yeah. I love one bed. Live for it.
It's so good. Small town or billionaire?
Billionaire, but I haven't really read much of either. But I would guess fair. Billionaire.
That's fair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You'd rather see just the luxury of it.
I grew up in a small town. I don't see the romanticism in it. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Same.
I don't see it.
Like the people you see all the time are not this nice. It is not that nice.
Or that good looking. Go ahead.
Yes. You and I can talk about that later. Standalone or series?
Series.
Fake dating or marriage of convenience?
Marriage of convenience.
Corvin or Killian?
Oh, God! You are so evil! How could you do this? Okay.
I knew it. I was like, what am I going to do that's just for Chelsey?
That's like, perfect. Yeah. Corvin.
Okay. That's fair.
Partially.
Nope, you don't get to do it.
Okay. I want to say, okay, Corvin. A hard decision. Very difficult, but Corvin has my heart, for sure.
Love it. All right, and top 3 book partners, boyfriends.
Oh, top 3 book boyfriends. Okay.
It could be yours or other people. Like, if
no, it's not going to be mine. That's boring. Of course, I love Revik to death. No, Revik is end game for everyone who reads Conduit of Light. Anyway, trust me. So, number 1, Barrens, Jericho Barrens from the Fae Fever series by Karen Marie Moning.
I have not heard of that one.
It's old. It came out, I want to say like early 2000s. I hope that's accurate.
Okay. There's Google. We can figure it out.
Hands down, favorite series. It is like urban fantasy romance, romantasy, slow burn.
Ooh.
It has fae, and it's got like the sealy, unsealy fae. Oh my gosh.
I love sealy, unsealy.
I got one of my best friends to read it with me this, in January at the start of the year. She became completely obsessed with it. And I said, see, so Jericho Barrens, number 1, like that man changed me forever. Number 2, I would have to say, I'm looking behind me right now.
Yeah, I love it. This is always our ending. This is always our ending question. And everyone always turns around to their books. I love it.
We'll have to say, so I don't know. I'm kind of going off of not necessarily who would I want to live with for the rest of my life, but I'm going off of
characters.
What MMC has always stuck with me. And Pardon from The Cruel Prince has always stuck with me. I think
Christina will love to hear that.
Such a good character. Like the letters that he wrote her. I'm still, I think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely there. And for number 3, how about all 5 men from the Bonds That Tie series? Except the one. I can't remember his name, and he was a jerk, and I didn't like him. But the rest of them, like Griffin, yes.
Griffin, we've talked about this.
Sign me up.
Griffin
line,
Shore, the man that you
certificate.
are.
So not all 5, but all 4. Those 4.
Knox. You're thinking of Knox.
I am thinking of Knox.
I could listen, Knox, you have a tragic backstory. We get it. But like also there is a line.
But also what the hell? Okay?
There's a line. And you crossed it.
You crossed it and I'm not
never
interested.
Apologized.
Never
interested. Groveled. No, thank you.
So yeah, so the last one is 4 men.
I accept that answer.
Okay,
yes.
I'm glad.
That is the correct answer too.
I think it is the correct answer.
Have you read the Mortal Fate series by J. Bree?
I haven't yet.
Oh.
Is it done? Is it done?
No.
Is it the...
But...
I mean, that's not a deal breaker for me, but I was like, is it done? I don't know.
Down.
I've heard this.
The best enemies to lovers it's ever read.
It's one of those ones that I know I'm going to be completely consumed by. And
Absolutely.
When I know, I will save it. I'm like, wait until it's consumable time, because right now it's not. I need to do this.
Who knows when that will be? And I'm going to be honest. I would say that after the first one. My husband read them and loved them.
Oh, really?
Like,
oh, that's interesting.
Dev just reread them, and Dev does not reread books.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, no.
She's like,
trust me. I know I'm going to love it. I am well aware that I will go down that hole and be like, I'm not coming out of this.
No, and the world... Oh. So anyways, so do you mostly read? Is that like where your heart lies, not just in writing, but also in reading?
For sure. And it really stems from fantasy being such a huge part of my, childhood growing up. Mm-hmm. And then I also read so much historical romance growing up.
Okay.
And it just made sense that those kind of just align.
They do play well together.
Really well. And so that's mostly what I read is romantasy. I also write it, so I like to see what other authors are doing.
Yeah.
It is one thing that is rough as an author is that I don't enjoy books the same way I used to, because I'm constantly like, oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about the author as I read their book.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking, like, why did they make that choice? Why did they do this? Or, oh, I see where they're trying to lead me down. And
yeah. So it's like this war, and so it's going to do this. Or, I got ideas from that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, I feel, to predict books once you've written them.
Or read hundreds.
That too.
Hundreds in the same genre.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sure writing is a whole nother realm of understanding.
Yeah, and everything I read has a fantasy element to it. It is very rare for me to read contemporary romance. It's rare to read sci-fi. I don't read horror because I am terrible at horror. I can't do it. Can't even happen.
I understand that. That's fair. I like mystery and suspense. I don't really go in for horror.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing. My husband loves like horror movies and things like that. Oh. As I've gotten older, I've been like, I'm uncomfortable and I'm not going to finish watching this with you.
That's fair.
Not something I would have said in 20s. Not something I would have just bared with it because it's my husband. At this point in my life, though, I'm like, I have other things to do. I am not finishing this movie with you.
I'm going to go read in the other room. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your favorite reads from the past year?
What
are your top or like the last year or so? Do you have any favorite recs?
I did. I wrote down, I kind of looked since January just to kind of get, what's fresh in my mind. These are all indie books. I believe so. Actually, I'm not sure about the third one now that I think about it. But I recently read Smoke and Scar.
Okay.
By Gretchen Powell Fox, who is a lovely person. I love her. And she's blowing up right now. She's going to be everywhere pretty soon. Just wait. But it felt very Dungeons and Dragons, which is something I used to play and I used to DM. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then I grabbed this indie book off of the shelf in the library for Pride Month. And I was like, give me some raw romance.
Yeah.
And I grabbed this book. It was so good. It's called Yield Under Great Persuasion. And it's fantasy, but it feels almost historical. And the main male character in it is such an asshat. Like, he is a walking red flag. But because we get all of the book from his perspective, he is constantly talking about all of the things wrong with him. And then the man that he is in love with is the Sunshine character, the Grumpy Sunshine. And he just thinks, the world is built around this very toxic man that we're reading about. It was so good. I absolutely adored it. So that was Yield Under Great Persuasion by Alexandra Rowland. I don't know anything else about her. I just pull this book off of the library in Issaquah. It was just like really random. And then the other one, if you really like fairy tale retellings, Scarlett St. Clair wrote Mountains Made of Glass. And I haven't read her other one that's like in the same, I don't know if it's a series or not. But Mountains Made of Glass is very short, very weird, but feels very original fairy tale-esque. And she has like several fairy tales like in it, including Rumpelstiltskin. And I just loved it. I was like, this is so freaking weird, man. But I loved it. It just felt otherworldly, old-fashioned fairy tale. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. I need to read her other one. I think it's like Apples Dipped in Gold, I think. And I feel like that one was picked up, maybe.
Okay, I feel like
I'm not sure. She at least started indie. I know that.
Yeah, I've seen her a lot, but I'm like, is she? Maybe
she might be
a couple things that are trad.
Yeah, she might be both.
Some trad, some indie. But I actually kind of love it when authors do that, because they're like, these are my passion projects. Yeah, these I love. But also, I'm going to let someone else take care of these.
Somebody else grab these.
I'm write
out of my hands, please.
Someone take care of these. I'm going to work on these. Just throw this out for people.
Dream.
I kind of love it.
That sounds like the dream, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. So, I mean, we already talked about your next project. Already. That's so exciting. What is like long-term goals as an author? Do you have any big like benchmarks you're hoping to get to? What's your big overall
like I
goals?
was saying, I think just, for me, it's truly about telling the story and being a storyteller. And so I would love to make enough money to do that full time. That's a big goal, right? I would say like the biggest like end goal would be to, like I was saying, just know my books are in like all the Barnes and Nobles, right? Like, they're accessible. They have reach, which is part of why I'm querying, because it is so hard to get reach. It really is a difficult thing. And, people like you, Jordan, and this podcast are so lovely to help us with that. Truly, they are. Even if just one person reads any of my books from this podcast, it's amazing to me. And again, talking about the community and how supportive it is. But the end goal is to eventually just be able to walk in a Barnes & Noble or, whatever your preferred bookstore is. And it's, there's stories that I've written.
Yeah.
I don't need to like have a movie or be on the New York Times bestseller lists 5 times or something. That doesn't matter to me. I just want people to be able to walk into a store and be able to pick up a story that I wanted to tell them.
I love that goal. Made my heart happy. I love it. I know. And that's probably my favorite thing about the podcast is just like kind of being a cheerleader for authors and especially indie authors. And it's just so much fun. I love it. I love this part. I love talking about people's passion with them, because my passion is reading them. My passion is reading these stories.
We truly love you for
back.
it. Oh, thank you.
There's just love going all around everywhere.
Here we are.
And on that note, do you want to give your socials, your handles? Where can people find you? Speaking of accessibility, where can they interact with you?
Speaking of reach. So I used to be on TikTok a lot. I'm mostly on Instagram now. I have kind of found my community there. And so I'm on TikTok, though. TikTok, Instagram, and Threads all are at Chelsey Ann Tompkins. That's it. Really easy. Find me. DM me. I love, Jordan, the DMs where somebody is reading one of my books and they DM me and they're either pissed off, right? Conduit of Light trilogy. You will get mad. Respectfully, ma'am, how dare you? And then the people who come into my DMs and they say, I just got to such and such scene and I had to, I can't tell you how many times people have done this. I had to put it down because there was too much distraction and I needed to savor it. I love those DMs. And any kind of capitalization of letters and exclamation marks, like I live for it. Indie authors love when you go into their DMs and you tell them how much you're loving the book that they wrote. And it's literally, I like suck it in, you know?
Yeah. And then that energy goes
so refreshing, right?
And it's like, yes, I can do this.
Some of the things that people have said, I have literally on sticky notes and I'm looking at them right now. And I just have them around me because especially a small indie author, it's so easy to get lost in how obscure you are and how small you are. And it's so easy to see all the success of people and you're like, I am so happy for you. But you're also like, when do I get that? And so I write down things that people say to me. And it's just there to remember that I'm doing this to tell these stories because I'm a storyteller. And that's what I am. One of the most ancient professions ever, right? Yeah. Storytelling. People have been telling stories since people have been able to communicate them. And I love that I get to do that and that I have enough talent to do that to where people want to know my stories.
Yeah. Ask for them.
Yeah. And so it's really lovely when people reach out to me and are just like, either how dare you or, oh my God, I'm dying. Right? Right? One or the other. I love that part.
Thank you so much. And we love it. We love to hear it. Chelsey Ann Tompkins, wherever you can follow her, wherever you have your own accounts. Thank you for joining me. And
thank you for having me
so much.
And keeping in touch in like over a year, right?
It's worth it, people. Go download the book. But thank you, everyone, for listening to us ramble about Chelsey's books. If you're looking for more Romance Recs, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Threads and sometimes on TikTok at Romance Recs Pod. You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes as well as behind the scenes content. Again, that's at Romance Recs Pod. So make sure to give us a follow and we'll be back soon with season 3. We'll be starting soon. And season 3 is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different. Thank you.
It's so exciting. Yes.
So there will be different kinds of content too. We're going to head over to new platforms as well as where we are now.
Big things. Big things coming. I'm so excited for you.